Good morning, San Joaquin, and welcome to another edition of Tales and Tips. I am so excited to have with me my good friend Bob Tanon and his daughter Jennifer Tanon Johnson, and we're going to talk about everything GymStars. Before we get into the meat of our show, I just want to share something that Bob said to me when we were just chatting about how he lives to serve the community, and I just respect that so much. I'm so excited to have both of you here on the show today. And Bob is on the board for the Emergency Food Bank with me and participates in so many activities in the community. So welcome. I'm so excited to have both of you here today.
Thank you. It's our
Glad to
pleasure.
be here.
All right, let's talk about GymStars. Let's talk about what that organization is for people that don't know. Let's talk about what you do in terms of working with kids and just the different programs that you offer.
Great. Well, GymStars has been around for 20 years next Friday, July 19th.
Woohoo!
2000, yeah. So we're excited. We're so blessed to be able to deliver just a fantastic program to thousands and thousands of kids in our community. And you know, one of our first goals when we were developing GymStars was to create a multi-sport and art opportunity and entertainment opportunity for kids, but not just for the kids, for the parents too, because we really hoped that the parents could have a place where they could bring their kids and not have to run around all over town if they had multiple kids or multiple interests. So we feel really blessed and we love what we do.
Awesome. And Jennifer, let's talk about you. You are the VP of Operations.
Uh-huh.
And let's talk about what you do and more the origin of GymStars and how it was created with you growing up.
Well, what I do right now is I do a lot of program development and retooling and event coordinating, making sure everything operational is up to par with what we want to do. GymStars origin story is kind of neat, actually. So my sister and I started gymnastics when we were very young. We both did competitive gymnastics, and we kind of moved around a lot. We did it. We're at a gym in Turlock, and then we moved to Stockton. We were at a gym here in Stockton, and then when I was going into the 7th and 8th grade, we moved to Pennsylvania, so clear across country. Fell in love with the gym there, and then when I was going into my freshman year of high school, we actually moved back to Stockton. At that time, when we came back, there was really, we started a gym in Lodi, but we just weren't in love. There was something missing, and so that's when I think the talk kind of got started of, hey, let's have a viable, great option in Stockton. And so my sister and I have always been in love with the sport of gymnastics. Even though when GymStars finally got open, I personally wasn't competing gymnastics. My sister still did. My little sister, Megan. So that was pretty cool. My dad and my mom, for as long as I know, for as long as I've known them, they have always been kid people. When we got together as cousins, it was always fun. Uncle Bob on the floor wrestling with the kids and getting the kids fired up about going swimming. And even, a couple weeks ago at my son's birthday party at GymStars, it was kind of like in between things. We had just finished pizza, getting ready to start presents, and he has 20 kids behind him, and he's Optimus Prime, and he's like, I have a video of it. It's super cute. And he has them following him around all the tables. I mean, he's a kid at heart, which helps. And so it just made sense for us to take a sport that we loved and then blow it up into something even better. And that I think that is a perfect representation of what GymStars is and how it got started.
Awesome. And where is GymStars?
GymStars is at 1740 West Hammer Lane in Stockton in the Parkwood Shopping Center. Awesome. We're actually the anchor of the shopping center, so we're proud to be there. We've been there from day one, and we plan on being there for a very long time.
Awesome.
I can tell you that when we first opened, July 1999, we opened with 350 kids already enrolled.
Wow.
By September, we had 750. By February of 2000, we had 1,000 kids.
Wow.
And so the community has supported us a tremendous amount. by participating and coming in and checking us out. And we love being, the right place for these kids and these families. We also do entertainment programs. We have the best birthday party in town, in the world, I think.
I like that, in the world.
I agree.
And we always strive to constantly improve. We're constantly replacing and upgrading equipment. We're constantly upgrading our program on how we teach kids, the curriculum, the process. All the while, we always keep the most important thing first, which is safety for those kids. So we're very, very, very pleased with how things have turned out.
And let's back up. It's not just gymnastics, right? You
Correct.
offer. So let's talk about that.
Well, we offer gymnastics for children from the 2-month-olds the whole way up to 18-year-olds.
Wow.
And we offer a dance program that's very, very successful. And we have different genres of dance. We have martial arts. I think martial arts is age 3 to 18, and dance is also 3 to 18. We also have specific tumbling classes. We have recreational cheer classes. Have I missed anything?
Yeah, so we also have competitive gymnastics. And then we also have superheroes classes and ninja training. And just to speak a little bit more to the genres of dance we have, so we have like a pre-ballet class for like 2.5-year-olds. And then we also have ballet contemporary. We have hip hop. We have hula and Tahitian. We have jazz musical theater. And now we've actually just reintroduced tap back into our program.
Wow.
So we do a lot with the
variety.
dance. Yeah. So it's been really great. We just had our recital. We have 2 a year in June and December, and we just had our June recital a few weeks ago, and it was just a huge success. And the playlist was awesome because it was dancing through the decades. So it was just a super fun recital. So great job to my dance instructors.
Awesome.
And then we also partnered with Gene Tabone. He's been offering martial arts at our gym since the day we opened.
Awesome.
And they do a fantastic job, and our students love it. We also, other than the world's greatest birthday parties, we also do a thing called Kids Play Night, about once a month, sometimes twice, where kids come to our gym. In an organized way, they get to play while the parents go out for dinner or catch a movie.
Oh, wow.
And then,
so the parents get to leave.
correct,
Yes.
parents get to leave.
Wow.
That's right.
That's amazing.
And then we also offer we call it Teddy Bear Picnic, which twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays, parents or grandparents or whomever get to bring their preschoolers in for an hour and a half, and they get to play in an organized way. We set up different stations, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we have our day camps, which have been super, super exciting this year, particularly. And we have day camps throughout the year. Whenever the school's closed, we typically have a day camp, whether it's one day, a week, all summer long, or whatever it is. So we're happy about that as well.
And how, on the day camps, how do you price that so that the majority or the most kids can be able to participate?
Well, we're very, very meticulous about our pricing on all of our programs. We take into consideration, obviously, paying our staff, which is very important. We take into consideration any supplies or equipment needed. We look at, what's the insurance cost for that program. We look at the utility cost and the rent factor. And so we always price it so that so we can make it as affordable as possible, but we're also a for-profit company, so we have to drive a small profit.
And just to speak to that a little bit more, we also offer different opportunities. So we have parents who just want to do like a half day, one day. So we have a pricing for that. We have a pricing just for one single day, even if we're open for the whole week for camps. We also have what we call part-time camps. So they can come from 8:30 to noon, and then they can have the option to have a PM part-time, which is 1 to 4:30. So we offer all these different, it's like a menu, you
Flexible
pick what you
options.
want, it's not like you have to pay for the whole week, even though you're not going to come. So that's been really cool. My son Bryce is going to day camps right now. at GymStars. And I asked him yesterday when we got in the car, I said, you know, we started this new thing that my cousin taught me. So what was your highlight and what was your low light? So he said, my highlight was everything.
Aww.
And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, you know. And then I was like, what was your low light? And he said, nothing, Mom. It was so great. And to me, like, he's not getting paid to say that. So, I mean, that really warmed my heart, because that's a program I actually have had a lot of hand in right now. Personally, a little personal investment on my part. So that was really cool. This week it's a cheerleading camp or ninja camp, whichever they want to do. So it's kind of neat.
Very dynamic.
Awesome.
And we also offer, you know, discounts to our members. So
And siblings.
So you can be a member.
yes, you can be a member, and you automatically get 20% off our birthday parties, our kids' play nights,
Teddy bear picnics.
Their siblings also can get a 20% discount even on their first class with us. So we do everything we can to help families particularly with multiple kids, to be able to afford it.
Awesome. That's excellent. And in a few minutes, let's go through and we'll talk more in detail about the different dance classes. And I'm interested to hear what you think is your most popular thing that you offer.
Okay.
Let's back up and talk more about the history. I know we talked about how you had been involved in gymnastics, but what was the turning point that made you decide, well, we could do this as a business? Obviously, I'm sure there were intense discussions between you and your wife about practicality and how you were going to actually make it come together.
Well, the original plan was to provide the community with a second option, and we had a 5-year plan. So we thought, look, we're going to do this, you know, whether it's successful or not, we're going to stay open for 5 years. So at the time that we opened, I kept my job at the bank, and Casey kept her job at her law office that she worked at. And as I said, we opened in July with a lot of kids. By September, Casey had to quit her job to support GymStars full time. And by February, when we hit 1,000 kids, I had to quit my job. And then at that point, we blew it up. I mean, we decided to plan for expansions. We went from 10,000 square feet to 15,000 square feet to 22,000 square feet in 2004.
Wow.
And in addition to that, we've had 3 other facilities that we've opened. And the focus on those facilities was to build them up, make them successful, and then sell them to a local owner, someone who lived in that community. And we did exactly that all 3 times, and all 3 gyms are doing, you know, just fine.
Wonderful. Where are the other gyms located?
One is in Placerville, one is in Modesto, and one is in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so not in the immediate area.
Correct.
Interesting. All right, and we should give a shout out to Casey.
Oh yeah, definitely give a shout out to Casey, one of the hardest working ladies I know, the love of my life. She just doesn't know how to say no. She only always says yes.
Awesome.
But she's amazing. Without her, I'm not sure that I'd be as successful as I am in anything that I do. She's my backbone.
Oh, that's beautiful. Awesome. Let's back up a little bit and talk about why activities that you offer at GymStars are important for children. What does it do that helps children?
Well, first of all, activities for children in general are extremely important. I always tell parents, no matter what you do, whether it's at GymStars or somewhere else, get your kids active. And I was personally raised that way. I remember when I decided to quit gymnastics, retire from gymnastics, and do something else, I didn't really have a specific plan on what I wanted to do. And the first thing my dad said, cool, you can do whatever you want, but what are you going to replace it with? Mm-hmm. Those were literally his words. You know, you can retire from gymnastics, but what are you going to do? And I just see that. I mean, the root of that has been so powerful in my life, and I see it all the time in kids. You know, parents need to get their kids active in something. Our programs specifically at GymStars are incredible because all of them are full body. They work on strength, flexibility, coordination. It's not just focused on one muscle group. Everything that we do focuses on the whole fitness of the total body. That's personally why I love it. And it's super fun. I mean, you come into GymStars and you just see fun. There's colorful things. There's high things to climb on and things to jump on. I mean,
you have the balls.
we have a foam pit, and actually our foam pit in the last couple years has been updated. For anyone who hasn't come into our gym recently, we have these hypoallergenic, essentially it's like a pillowcase almost, but it's sealed, which makes the pit super clean.
Awesome.
And so I know that my athletes really like that, because it's a nice upgrade. They don't get the little pit foams in their eyes anymore and things like that. So, but yeah, it's just a great total body. It's really great for their self-confidence. I mean, everything that we do and every way that we teach, we have teaching principles that all of our coaches have to memorize. And every single principle is geared towards increasing the self-confidence of the children that we're teaching. Because that's so important. I mean, whether they can do a cartwheel, like for example, I can still do a cartwheel, but it's not important for my day-to-day life, but all the self-confidence and the self-awareness and coachability, everything that I learned as an athlete has helped me in my life today. And that's just what we're trying to do. We're trying to help these kids grow into productive and responsible and self-aware and self-confident adults in the future.
Awesome. And I mean, they also learn being part of a group or a team.
Yeah, there's a lot of team camaraderie, a lot of team building, and what you do affects other people. There is a lot of that. There's also a lot of self respect and what you do, you get out of it what you put into it is what and we have to learn that. I mean, as adults, what we put into things is what we get out of it.
And discipline.
Discipline, absolutely. It's my and it's so interesting to be on the other side of this. I've been a coach. I started GymStars when I was 16 when we opened. And I just remember I was, just kind of going through life and doing my thing as a 16-year-old. And it's just amazing to see all the things I was teaching these young kids. Now, as a mom, it's a completely different side. But to see my son grow, not just in a class, just because I coach him and then I leave them to their parents, but to see it on my side, to see him go through the process of, hard work is hard. And sometimes it's not the most fun thing to do such hard work, but I like it. And that's, as a parent, I love that.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So these kids learn how to love learning at a young age. And that's so critical.
That's very key for all children, to learn to love to learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. And more on the mental side, I mean, we teach them goal setting. We teach them how to fail and how to come back from failure.
That's critical.
We teach them how to be gracious about success and how to understand that success isn't the end. What's next? So there's a lot that we teach kids at almost every level that we teach and almost every program that we have. One of the things that we do when we make decisions at GymStars, this is the way my brain thinks. If you can imagine drawing a circle, and at the top putting the word students or children, and at 3 o'clock on the right putting parents, and at 6 o'clock putting staff, and at 9 o'clock putting GymStars. When we make a decision about anything, first question is it good for our students and our children? Okay. And if it is, then we move forward. Is it good for the parents? And if it's good for the parents, then we move forward. Is it good for the staff? And then only then is it good for GymStars. If it hangs up anywhere through there, we go back and rethink the process. And that always keeps us grounded and firmly on always doing the best thing for children. Always.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And speaking of what you were talking about with goal setting and looking at the clock and making sure it meets all of those things, what are your plans for the next 5 years for GymStars?
Great question. Well, we plan on continuing to do what we do, which is constantly evolve. We just replaced our tumble track. This is our third, I think, tumble track. We have just put a brand new one in last week. But we'll continue to evolve our equipment and replace it as needed. We'll continue to evolve our programs and our offerings. Sometimes for a while we had a superhero specific class, and now we've kind of morphed that to having that in addition to like a ninja type class. So we'll continue to grow that way with programs. We'll always test the market and ask parents and kids what they want. That's really important to me.
Awesome.
And then as far as expansion, you never know. You just have to keep your eyes open and your ears open and see what I get into next.
Awesome.
And then just to kind of piggyback on something. So a tumble track, he mentioned a tumble track, and I'm sure some people might know what that is, but a tumble track is a really long 40-foot trampoline. So just so we can have some context.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And where do your clients come from? How do people hear about you? And is it just from Stockton, or do you have students from the surrounding cities as well?
Well, let me work backwards. We do have some students from the surrounding communities, surrounding cities. Not a lot, obviously. What I found over the years is, and we found as parents ourselves, we don't, parents really don't want to drive more than 10 or 15 minutes to get their kids to an activity if they can help it. Sometimes they'll go longer, but most of the time they won't. So we find that most of our families are really from within, like a 6-mile, 7-mile radius. And we do get some from further out, but there are fewer numbers.
All right. And have you thought about it all? Like, you talked about other locations that were quite a distance away.
Mm-hmm.
What about a location in Lodi or a location somewhere else within our county?
It's funny you should ask. Probably in the last 15 years, I've looked at probably 10 potential locations in Lodi, and probably a dozen in Manteca, and a few in Tracy. To me, it needs the combination to opening up a facility like ours, a multi-sport, multi-art, multi-entertainment, specific to positive, coaching to the kids. You also have to consider the locations, the type of building, and can it work? And so far, I really haven't found the right building in those markets, and it's okay. I mean, we do, we're able to do very well and meet our expectations on serving the community, not only from a standpoint of them coming to us, but from a reaching out standpoint. We reach out to United Way, the food bank, obviously, other kids organizations. We've donated well over 800 birthday parties, and our birthday parties are private and full service, so they get pricey because we deliver everything. But right now, I don't really have my thumb on the pulse of any locations. However, I have looked, and it just hasn't been, the combination hasn't been there.
And let's go back and let's talk about competitions that you have teams or students that participate. What does it take to compete? Talk about like the time commitment that's involved, and what does it take in terms of someone's ability to be able to do that?
For gymnastics is such a specific sport. So we actually have a program, it's called our Developmental Program, that identifies kids at a very young age who have specific and special flexibility abilities, strength abilities, ability to focus, because we know all kids, learn at different points of their life to really focus, but just have those special skills. And then they get invited into our developmental program where they're on a track to become competitive gymnasts. Competitive gymnastics, the type that we do right now, it's called JO, and you do have to have a certain amount of talent, and then beyond that, though, you have to have the work ethic, because if you don't have the work ethic, you can have all the talent in the world, and that's true of any sport. You have to have that work ethic. Now, we have different levels, so we start at level 2. Those kids practice 3 days a week, 3 hours. So they're already coming to the gym 9 hours a week. Our level 3 is the same thing. And then as they go up, they come more often. So we have our level 4, 5s coming 4 days a week for 3 hours. And then from there, as they get higher, then they come 4 days a week for 4 hours, and sometimes 4.5 hours. And then sometimes they add that 5th day. When I was personally competing in gymnastics, I was working out anywhere from 4 to 5 days a week. And that 4 to 5 hour mark. So, I mean, if you think about it for these kids, it's like a part-time job, hour-wise, so it is a big commitment. We always tell kids, and because it's hard, they're giving up time to play with their friends and things like that. no matter what you do in life, it's always a give and take. So if you're giving up time with your friends, you're investing in your future. Maybe you'll get a college scholarship, which we have had students get, which is just phenomenal. It's great. And the same side, you know, if you're playing with your friends, you're giving up time that you can be improving yourself and striving for maybe some goals that you have. So life in general is a give and take. And so it definitely is an investment of time, focus, energy, to make a commitment to choose to be a competitive gymnast if you qualify.
And do you find that if someone stays in the area, if their child starts out very young, that they continue at your facility through the years?
Yes, we have I don't know the exact number, but a lot of kids that stay with us for years and years. We've had kids that have been with us from the time they were little toddlers to the time they graduated high school, went on to college.
Awesome.
We've had, JT mentioned, we've had full rides in gymnastics, partial rides. We've had full rides in track and field, and other sports that have been offered to our kids. But even more important to me, as a dad, as a grandfather, as just a man, these kids are going away with the ability to use everything they learned in our facility towards their success, whatever they choose that to be, whether they want to be a teacher, a principal. I've got I have somebody that was with us as an employee, a very young employee, who now is preparing to become a principal at a school. You know, so it isn't just about the students, it's about our staff. I mean, we have very low turnover, and our staff are important to us, and we promote them every way we can. We help them any way we can. We help them be successful. We help them learn a lot of the tools that they will need for their future. So, you know, we're kind of an all-around focused on success, and whatever that means to them is what it means to me. You know, for me, success might be different than it might be for the next person, but whatever we determine or the student tells us that they determine their level of success is, that's what we always focus on. Very individualized.
And to speak to that a little bit, staff is really important. Most of our staff actually are previous members, and are some of our previous cheerleaders, some of our previous gymnasts. Even if they never competed gymnastics, a lot of times we'll get students who did our recreational programs and who come back and want to work for us, which is just amazing. It's just a true testament, because I have a personal investment, because I also personally coached them when I was coaching. So it's just really neat. And to see a kid that I coached when they were 5 or younger coaching my 5-year-old is just a full circle turnaround, and makes me feel happy and old.
and we stay pretty steady at about 45 employees.
Wow, 45
you know,
employees. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Mm-hmm. That's helping out a lot of people in our community. So we should talk about employees. Are you looking for more employees, and what does it take to be an employee at GymStars?
Well, one of my mantras is that we, hire the character, train the skill. So we never stop accepting applications or looking for that person, that special person that has the right character to work with kids, and the drive needed to help each kid on an individual basis achieve their own level of success. So we constantly keep our eyes open. I'm not sure, JT may be able to speak to if we have a current need or not. Do we? Or?
So yeah, I mean, we do for some for gymnastics coaches. We actually just hired a few people, so there's not like an immediate stressful need that we are. But we are always taking applications. Most of our applications do come from previous members, like I said, but you don't have to be a previous member to work at GymStars. We have, like, for example, our dance director, who is also our kids play night director. She was not a previous member, but she came in and she just lit up the dance floor when she auditioned, and just has a great fit for GymStars. So you don't have to be a previous member to apply, but definitely if you love kids, and you're an enthusiastic person, and you enjoy learning and are coachable, because we do, like he said, we hire the character, train the skills. So even if you've done gymnastics before, we have a very strict way on how we do things because of safety, as he spoke to before. So if you're coachable and you're enthusiastic and you love kids, definitely come on by.
And just to use our dance director as an example, I mean, she came to us as a part-time dance instructor. She had no experience directing a program. She had experience kind of with pieces and parts of how to run a dance, a recital, etc. But she is developed under us in such a quick and successful way. This young lady, is just unbelievable.
Let's give her a shout out.
Yeah, Michelle. Good job, Michelle.
We have to give her a shout out. We got to give everybody a shout out.
Go ahead.
But we've got a great team. And by the way, speaking of team, I believe my philosophy regarding management is very clear. First of all, when we opened GymStars, I told everyone I will never be a coach. Teaching, that is just not what I want to do. My expert area is in business and visionary work. Where do we take the business to? So I've purposely never learned how to coach anything in regards to sports. So because of that, I had to surround myself with a team of people that can not only operate the business like JT's doing, but then who would replace JT if JT couldn't be there? That's Felicia. She does a fabulous job. She's been with us forever. And Felicia can stand in for JT at any moment. And who can stand in for Felicia if she wasn't there or was promoted? And that would be Michelle. And she's in training right now to be able to do that. So we have layers of staff that are constantly being trained for what's next for them at our company.
And just to speak to that, our general manager, Felicia, was also not a member. It's kind of a cute story. So her and I actually went to high school together. We did freshman PE together. We were both the most athletic girls. She was a softball girl. And so we went head to head in freshman PE and eventually became running buddies, and she pushed me, and I'm not a runner. I don't like running. But she was really good, and I don't like to lose. So she really pushed me, and we had some Spanish classes together and ultimately ended up at Delta College, which is a great college, together. And I probably worked on her probably for 2 years. Hey, Felicia, come work at GymStars. And she's like, I don't know gymnastics. And I was like, hey, Felicia, come work at GymStars. And so I finally wore her down, and she came in and she started teaching day camps. She started off with that and then eventually learned how to teach gymnastics. And she worked up the ranks. All of our managers worked up the ranks. We don't have any managers right now that we hired in to be a manager, because we do so much staff development. We hire and we promote from within. Yeah. And so it's just a true testament to the staff development that he has set up that we do for all of our staff.
Awesome. And Felicia has a bachelor's degree, and she could go be a teacher if she wanted to. JT has a bachelor's from University of Pacific. So we encourage continuing education. We never ever want to stop anybody from that. We never try to talk them into one thing or the other, but we just have opportunities, and we've been fortunate. I mean, we have a great working culture, and people just love these. I call them kids, but they're adults. But these young adults just love working with children and love working at GymStars.
Wonderful, awesome. And let's go back now and talk more specifically about some of the different classes that you offer. You mentioned something about ninja, and I heard superheroes. So those are unusual. You don't really think about that when you think about gymnastics or dance. So how did those more unusual options come about? So
they started becoming popular. The whole American Ninja Warrior thing came out, several years ago, and it did start popping up in our community, our gymnastics community across the country, and actually it's our friends and at GymStars Modesto, they actually started their superhero program, and then we kind of collaborated on it. And so we started it for 3 to 5 year olds, and then it kind of grew from 5 to 7 year olds. And then we found that, once they get past that age, they don't really want the imagination part of the superhero piece of it, but they want to learn how to be a ninja. They want to be able to scale things and climb over things and jump over things. And
boys and girls. This is co-ed.
it is co-ed. It definitely is co-ed. Most of them are boys, but they are co-ed. My son actually is in the superheroes class. He loves it so much. I tried to get him to. He was in gymnastics when he qualified age-wise to do the superheroes. I let him try it, and that was just it for him. So he just fell in love with that program. So the superheroes and ninjas is co-ed, but mostly boys.
And so what age now do those options cover?
So superheroes goes from 3 to like 6, 7, and then ninjas goes from 6 to 12 right now. If we get some more older kids or advanced kids, we're like he said before, we're always open to improving and adding more for parents.
And we also do the same. And we bought this piece of equipment brand new from AAI, who manufactures most gymnastics equipment, or at least most of the ones that we buy. And it's a ninja rig. And so you look at it and you think, how's that have anything to do with gymnastics? It really doesn't. It only has to do with kids being physical and learning how to climb, learning how to balance, learning how to scale the wall, learning how to, be able to walk or run in an imbalanced situation, and so I think it's going to be a really fun piece of equipment. It's new to us, but we're looking forward to using it more and more. And
we did find out that we're actually the first gym in the whole country to have the first freestanding ninja rig from AAI.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool to find out.
Wow, that's awesome. And in the 20 years that you've had GymStars, are there programs that you've phased out?
Yes. Every once in a while we get a little itch to do something for the parents. When we first opened, we took a very small section and we put in treadmills, exercise bikes, and weights. And we thought that the parents would use it. And we learned very quickly that they say they want to use it, but they don't. So we terminated that. And then we tried, I think it was jazzercise or...
It was Turbo Kick
and something else.
Zumba, which was fun.
And it was fun for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then they stopped that. So what we've learned over the years is we're in the kids business. That's what we have to focus on. Children truly are number one to us. So when I'm tempted to do things outside of that box, I literally just have to talk myself out of it. Even though it might be exciting to do, we have to stay focused on children.
And you've talked about day camps. What about after school programs? Like you've talked a lot about education, but not like a study, work, play kind of thing.
So we've done some off-site after school programs with different schools, and they're temporary. They start, they end. Right now we have none, other than the kids can come to us, and we specifically schedule classes so that the parents have time to get the kids to us, and then they start gymnastics or tumbling or karate or dance or whatever they'd like to do. So from that perspective, that's what we offer. However, I'm always open to doing things with an after-school program at a school or at a preschool.
But not at GymStars.
Well, we can do it at GymStars. The challenge is getting the kids to us.
I see.
So for us, it's I've looked into it a few times. It's very difficult for us to have a bus and to have a qualified driver and to have the proper insurance to get the kids picked up and brought to us. I do have friends that own gyms throughout the country, and in some states it's very easy to do, but in our state it's a challenge. It's difficult. So if the school can bus them to us, then we can certainly provide that.
We do have some kids that do take back-to-back classes on a particular evening. So the parents they bring them here and then they take the back-to-back classes so the parents can go back to work and finish, or go, grocery shopping. Even with one class, we'll have parents, they'll come in, drop them off. They'll go jam over to the grocery store, come back, pick them up. I mean,
awesome.
Because it's a very safe, and they are, as long as they are in class, not before class, but as long as they are in class, they are kept with the coach the whole time.
Awesome.
Now, other programs we've looked into are things like after-school learning. But once we get to the how do we transport kids thing, it kind of gets difficult. We've looked into additional art-type classes and music classes. specific to different instruments or voice, etc. And we're still looking into those. We just recently looked into an acting class, and it looked like it was going to be viable, but there just wasn't enough interest at the time. So we're constantly trying to offer programs that are somewhat unique, but still stays within our realm of being in the children's business.
And we always try to improve. So like with the acting, if we're right now we're looking at retooling the product and seeing if it's something that we can re-put out to see if it's something that would fit better for what parents and kids are looking for. But the main thing that I've always taken from being, I'm in a unique position because he's my dad and he's my boss. But one thing that
I'm not dad at GymStars.
No, I
I'm
call him Bob.
I'm Bob
it's
at
funny.
GymStars.
People are like, "Wait, isn't he your dad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I call him Bob," and it's just seamless now because I've been doing it for 20 years. But it's never be stagnant. You're always improving something. You're always looking for something to improve. What can we be doing better? And I think that's a true testament for us. And why we've been around for 20 years and so successful is because of that mentality. And in turn, all of our staff members and all of our managers, our birthday party director, Julia, who also started off as a dance instructor and has worked her way up and gone through our management training program to be our birthday party director. She's always looking to make each party better and better and better. Awesome. And so, it's kind of unique. I always tell people, they always say, "Hey, you're still working at GymStars?" I'm like, "Yeah, why would I stop? I love it." Like, I love it. And I'm never bored. I'm the kind of person I hate to be bored. And when I come to work, I know I'm never going to be bored. It's always exciting.
Awesome. And how many kids right now do you have enrolled in classes or activities?
We have about 1,200, and we stay pretty steady all year long. There are gymnastics training centers out there that might drop as much as 50 or 60% in the summer, and we just don't drop that much.
That's amazing. If
we drop,
That's
maybe
awesome.
it's 4% or 5%. But we're very, very steady. We enroll kids all the time, and of course there's kids dropping all the time. They lose interest, or they want to do something else, or they're moving away, etc. So we never stop looking for families that want to join us. We're constantly on the search for that mom who just had that baby, because in 2 months you can bring your child to us.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's really young. And so what happens if you have someone that has a child, we'll say 3, and they know that they want them to participate in something that you offer, but they don't have a specific class in mind?
Well,
go ahead.
When they come in, first we try to figure out, we ask them questions about their child. Do they like to dance? Are they a little more reserved? Do they already know how to follow directions, or is that something that we're going to be helping teach them? And we try to explain that to parents all the time. Is it's not innate to learn how to just know how to follow directions. It's something they have to learn, and that's why an activity like ours is so important, especially for those preschool age kids, is they can learn at such a young age. So when they start preschool or kindergarten, it's going to help them already understand that class structure and following directions. So we kind of find out a little bit more about the child to see if maybe a dance class would be more their style. Are they super into princesses, maybe like a ballet style kind of thing? Are they super active, climbing over their furniture at home? Are they, throwing themselves all around? And then maybe more of a gymnastics style where they can jump on the trampoline and climb up on the bars and swing on the bars and things like that. So we really try to find out, are they super into, like Kung Fu Panda, or, something that might gear them more towards the karate side where they want to learn that self-defense. So, we really try to help the parents find out and not push them in any specific route, but find something that their kid's going to be successful. And one thing I love about GymStars, and I tell this to people all the time, is, kids change their minds. Mm-hmm. We know that it's no secret. So when they want to switch programs or switch classes, they can. They can do it mid-month. They can do it on the spot. Also, if they miss classes, if there's a family birthday party and you can't make it into the gym, or they're sick, because we know kids get sick. As long as we're open and we have classes, they can schedule a makeup. So you're never going to miss out on what you pay for. You can schedule that makeup, and with those makeups, you can try other programs. Awesome. So, my niece who's in gymnastics and loves gymnastics wanted to try our dance program. She had a ton of makeups because life happens. and they missed classes, and she did a bunch of makeups and dance and was able to actually participate in the dance recital.
Wow.
So,
Awesome.
so it was kind of neat. We really try to make it as easy as possible for parents and not make it something that is just they're dreading. We try to be easygoing and just help them in any way, because we know that ultimately life is going to come first. So this is something special they're doing for their kids that's important. But anything we can do on our end to help, we do.
Awesome. And is there a cycle of when classes start, and how do people register? They go to your website. We need to give your website info and your phone number.
Well, we have classes every morning, including Saturday morning. We have classes in the early afternoon, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, evening. As far as registering, we have really a very simple process. They can go online to GymStars.com, pick their program, pick their class, and enroll right there. It's very simple. Then we do a follow-up call with them to start the orientation process and make sure that they're getting off on and doing what they want to do. Or they can give us a call at our gym, 957-1919. 1919 wasn't an accident, by the way, picking that. We opened on July 19th.
In 1990.
Or they can stop by. We typically open anywhere from 9:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're there till about 8 p.m. every day. And then we're there Saturday mornings, and then through Saturday afternoon when we have birthday parties, and Sunday afternoons during birthday parties.
Awesome. And we should talk more about the birthday parties. And I know you mentioned you've donated that to several raffles. I've participated with several nonprofits where you've donated that. So thank you for your generosity.
You're
I
welcome.
know you've given that to Pixie Woods and the Lions Club and a host of other organizations.
We've donated well over 800 birthday parties, and hundreds of different organizations. They all have to be nonprofit. They're either schools. We probably donate to almost every school in our community, churches, anything has to do with children, any nonprofits that deal with children or families, and we're happy to do so. I can't think of a time where I've ever turned anybody down. Maybe there was a time, but I don't recall that specifically. So we're very, very active with that. And I forgot your other question regarding that.
I asked you to kind of describe what the birthday party is.
Oh, okay.
Because it's unusual. It's
Right.
not your typical birthday party.
Yeah, so I can speak to that if
Well, I want to chime in just a
Okay.
hair, and then I'll let JT wrap it up for the birthday parties. Our birthday parties are very unique. They're full service and private. We do not run two birthday parties simultaneously in the same space ever. Having said that, our focus has always been on providing the birthday child a tremendous experience and their guests a tremendous experience. So we do a lot of things that are really hardly found in any other birthday party program to help create that experience. So from there, I'll let JT.
So our most popular package is called our 2-hour Nova, and it starts with an hour in our birthday play area, where every birthday party comes with a bounce house. They can go in the foam pit. We have the cargo net, a trapeze swing, the tumble track, that long trampoline I mentioned, and then we can set up an obstacle course. But what we do for that first hour is we actually just introduced this new program called Birthday Box, which just automatically comes with all of our birthday parties, where we actually interview the parent ahead of time, find out the theme of the party, and kind of what the birthday child would want to do. So if they've been to GymStars, they kind of know, well, I definitely want the trampoline. And if they've never been to GymStars, then we help them with that. But to really bring their theme to life in that first hour with specific games or activities, just to really, really help bring that theme together for the birthday child. And we have 2 party coaches that run the whole thing. So they invite the kids in, they go over the safety rules, they take the kids through all these fun activities. The parents get to actually watch and hang out. They don't have to worry about their kids being trampled by another kid out on the floor or anything like that. It's because it's so private, like Bob mentioned. And parents can sign a waiver and come out on the floor and take pictures and be a part of their party and just witness it, as opposed to being stressed out. Okay, is there enough food? Is it, and we're fully heated and air conditioned, so we are great at any time of the year to make our guests comfortable.
And if I can add to, we also always have a birthday party director or coordinator on hand. In other words, there's 2 coaches per party minimum. That goes up based on the number of kids that come. And then in addition, we have another person called a coordinator. And that person really helps the parents to kind of coordinate the party however they wish to have it coordinated, and keeps everybody on track, makes sure that the kids they observe the party, make sure the kids are getting what they deserve, and make sure that we're delivering in a safe, clean, quality way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then the second hour of the party is back in our birthday party room, where we have a designated area for them. We have tables set up. It comes with birthday balloons and a birthday sign, and it just looks really festive in there. We have a whole present opening area where the birthday child gets to sit up on a platform, and the kids get to sit in front, and then the parents can still see. It comes with pizza. 2 pizzas for the kids from Pizza Guys on Plymouth Road. Shout out to them. And they get pizza, they get Capri Suns, and then we also do Rita's custard for all the kids. So shout out to Rita's. And then we do party favors for all the kids. We have a prize wheel where they can win up to even a month of classes, or $100 off their birthday party, a free kids play night. There's lots of fun things. The prize wheel is a big hit because the kids love spinning that thing and then seeing what they get. So it's just, and the coaches serve the pizza. They clean up after the kids. The mom doesn't have to do it, and that's what I love about it. Yeah, it's really great. We also even cut the cake if the parents want us to do that. So the parents actually get to just receive a piece of cake and eat it and enjoy it and hang out with their family, and not worrying over, if everyone's got a piece. That we also help the kids if they want to open the presents. We take care of the garbage from that. We even write down the presents and who they're from for the parents. So if they wish to do thank you cards, they have that information. I mean, it's just A to Z. We even help take all the presents out to the cars for them. I mean, it's just full service.
Awesome.
T-shirt for the birthday child.
Yes, a T-shirt for, thank you, Bob. T-shirt for the birthday child, which we just redesigned about a year ago, and they're really, really cute.
Very cool. Awesome. It sounds like a great time. And so what ages do you usually do that for?
We have done 1-year-old parties all the way up to teenagers. So,
wow.
I've had both my son's first birthday parties at GymStars, and even my first son was running around and he had a great time, although he was crazy. And then my second son, he was still crawling at that age, but he still had a great time. And we know as parents that the birthday, especially at that age, is more for the other guests, and because the 1-year-old's not going to remember, but just making sure we capture those moments on camera and take those pictures and do all that stuff for the 1-year-old party. And that is so important. And you can actually do that at a GymStars party because you're not worrying about anything else. You're just worried about experiencing the birthday.
That's awesome.
But, I've personally had all my kids' birthday parties there. And it's unique and special. And I even asked my son, my oldest son, he's just turned 5. I said, hey, where do you want to have your party this year? Because I want to let him choose and not have me force it on him. And he's like, Mom, GymStars, that's my favorite place. And I'm like,
aww.
Again, you're not getting paid to say this, but thank you.
Awesome. That's really cool. That's awesome. And you gave some shout outs. Are there other people or other companies or organizations that you want to give shout outs to?
Well, I don't know. As far as vendors go, I don't know. Do you have any?
Well, we do use Pro Clean, and we use Icy Ink a lot for our t-shirts.
That's a local company.
Yeah.
No, I think
Wardens. We do use Wardens for our supplies, but
yeah,
not for like birthday parties. We just have the 2 vendors for that we use weekly.
That's about it. I mean, we also support not just the schools and the food bank and the United Way with birthday party donations, but like recently we donated a large contribution to the Mounted Police for Stockton PD.
Awesome.
To get them back up and running.
It's exciting that they're coming back.
And kids love horses. So it all ties back to kids. Every once in a while I get on the internet and try to find a place to take my grandkids to ride a horse, but it's a challenge to find the right place. But it's all about the children and everything we can do to help them. And so
awesome.
we're very heavy into the community.
We are. And just to have an answer to one of your previous questions a few minutes ago is another way we reach out to to families in the community, and is we actually do field trips for schools. So we have whole classrooms come in, and sometimes whole grade levels come in for field trips at GymStars, and we do give we do a huge discount for them because they are a nonprofit. So that really helps them be able to afford it, and they just have to get the buses, and they love it. We have schools that come to us every single year for their either mid-year or end of the year school field trips.
Yeah, we do quite a few in the fall, and then of course toward the end of their school year, and they're fun. If you walked in onto a field trip, you would be amazed. It's very organized play for sure, but it's just so much fun for these kids, and they just have a blast.
Awesome. And I'm sure several of them have never had the opportunity to be in a facility like yours at all.
Right. And we also do field trips and sometimes classes for
children with special needs.
Yeah, special needs children. And I don't know if is Walton still coming regularly, or are they off now?
I think they're off right now. I don't know.
So Walton's has been with us for, I don't know, countless years, bringing a group of kids in. And we staff it and they staff it. So, we make sure that those kids are out there experiencing movement and something fun, but in a safe way.
Wonderful. All right. And anything else that you'd like to add as we're wrapping up?
No, I mean, we love the community. We've been blessed to have met thousands and thousands and thousands of people and children in the community over the last 20 years. And we welcome everybody next Friday to GymStars.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't mentioned your party.
We have a block party celebrating our 20 years on July 19, next Friday. The festivities begin at 2 o'clock with a second ribbon cutting. We did one ribbon cutting when we opened. Now we're doing one at 20 years. And then from there, we have a ton of activities. I'll let JT speak to them.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing, it's a fundraiser for the Emergency Food Bank, so we are going to have raffles.
Yay,
raffle
you.
prizes.
That's awesome.
And we've been extremely lucky and blessed with the support of our community and like-minded businesses with their donations for our raffles. So that's been amazing. We also are going to have Spider-Man and Princess Belle. We are also going to have a GymStars tour experience. So maybe people who have never been into GymStars will get to actually experience all the programs and the things that we offer. We're going to be having different vendors there. We're going to have a DJ, so that's going to be fun. Do some dance breaks for everyone.
Face painting.
Yeah, we're going to have face
cool.
painting. We have little GymStars tattoos if the kids want little GymStars tattoos. So it's going to be fun. We're really excited about it, and we hope everyone comes.
Okay. How late does it go?
It goes to 8 p.m.
Till 8 p.m. And let's just review all your contact information. Let's give your address, phone number, website.
The address is 1740 West Hammer Lane in Stockton in the Parkwood Shopping Center. The phone number is 209-957-1919.
And your website?
And the website's GymStars, it's GYMSTARS.com.
And the party is when?
The party's July 19th, next Friday. And it starts at 2 and ends at 8. You can be there the whole time, or you can be there for part of the time. We'll also have a couple of food trucks there, too, if you get a little hungry. And let's see, what else? Oh, and we're also on Facebook, of course, GymStars Stockton.
And all of our vendors, too, for the block party are going to be supporting with donations to the Emergency Food Bank as well. So it's just all around.
And I
great.
think we're also collecting a non-perishable food as well that day for the food bank.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy a raffle ticket and win a fantastic prize. We have a lot of fantastic raffle prizes, and or you can bring some non-perishable food.
Yeah, we have, in terms of the prizes, we have GymStars actually donated, we have 4 kids' bikes ready to be won. We have dance lessons from Arthur Murray in Stockton.
Oh, cool.
We have
Shout out to Madison.
Yeah, Madison, Alexis. So we also have some gift cards from Midtown Optometry. So thank you, Dr. Darren. And
Darren Lee.
Yes, and we also have a gift card from Pizza Guys and from Octavio's, who's a great client of ours.
Awesome.
We have just a ton of
We have a
things.
basket from Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center, very generous donation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's countless.
We have so many. I hate
Yeah.
to, I don't want to leave anyone out, but
we
you can check
apologize
our,
if we left you out, but
Yeah.
it's countless prizes. We're very, very fortunate to have all these business people support the Emergency Food Bank and our event.
That's awesome. And I really appreciate, as I'm sure everyone affiliated with the Emergency Food Bank appreciates that you're doing that. And you've been such a great liaison to do so many things in helping the food bank, and you just help in the community just throughout. And it's just very amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you both for being here today. Any last final comments?
No, just thank you.
No.
And thank you to our community for voting us #1 in San Joaquin's Best of for gymnastics. So that was cool. Just a little thank you to the community.
A little shout out to GymStars.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, I'm
Thank you,
going
Julie.
to sign off. I am the voice of San Joaquin. You are the voice of San Joaquin. We are the voice of San Joaquin. Let's make